Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another video. So we're out. Beautiful weather today. This is typical England. One day it's raining, one day it's overcast, the next day it could be sunny. But it's clear skies, beautiful day today, which means I can get back on the roof. So I'm going to try and complete the roof on the extension. Complete the parapet wall, a couple of more courses of brick on the internal and external skin, put a DPC in it as well, and some wheat vents. I've got all that stuff already down there. I've also got to fit the fiberglass trims, the upstands around where the roof butts up with the wall and the parapet wall as well as the drip trim at the front where the gutter and fascia boards will be, and at the back there will be curb stand as well at the back area as well. So I'm going to try first to get all that stuff in and glass those trims in, glass around the window as well, around the upstand of the window, and if I can get all that done in the parapet wall as well, then I may be able to also fiberglass the actual roof, the rest of the roof. It's not a lot to do, so hopefully that shouldn't take long at all really. So hopefully I can get that all done today if the weather keeps up like this. So yeah, let's see how we get on. So give you a little sightsee as well while I'm out. It'd be nice if there wasn't so much traffic, but I'm in Victoria. You can't see, but maybe you can see the wall on the right hand side is a wall with barbed wire fence. That's actually fencing. That's part fencing of Buckingham Palace, actually. It's a part of it, kind of perimeter of the whole area. But Buckingham Palace is further down there to my right. Literally straight down there on the right is Buckingham Palace. I'm in what's area is called, what's this area called again? Hyde Park Corner. And right in front of me is the, God, I've forgotten it now. Hyde Park. Hyde Park. So one of the royal parks, quite a big park with lakes and stuff. Really nice park there. Middle of kind of central London. And yeah, and on the left, after these big white buildings, you have Knightsbridge, which is the fancy, expensive shopping area. All right, this guy wants to run into me. Fancy shopping area, and this is the park here on the left. So if you ever visit London, yeah, come and check out this area. Really nice, especially when the weather's nice. Go to Hyde Park and see the swans and take a boat ride, take a canoe or something like that. Have a picnic. Really nice. I used to come down here a lot on Sundays to roller skate. There's a lot of roller skaters come down to Hyde Park along the Serpentine on a Sunday, and they've got music, boom boxes, and people just have a good time and stuff. So I haven't done it in quite a long time, but mainly because I'm just so busy nowadays. But yeah, nice little vibe down here. So I'm in the traffic, so I'm gonna get off, and I'll see you guys on site. So take care and thanks for watching. See you soon. Hi guys, so I'm on site now, and I'm just gonna go through what I'm gonna be doing today. Hopefully try and get this roof watertight by the end of the day. So we've got the upstand for the window here, which we put up here the last time. I'm going to use some adhesive sealant underneath and bond it down to the wood, and then I'm going to use some screws around here. This will have a fiberglass bandage around it as well to seal it in, and also we've got some different types of trims. I'll show you the different types of trims that you use for different purposes. You've got the fascia trim, which is this one here, which goes at the end where the fascia boards are, where the water exits into the gutter. So you need that. It's also called a drip trim. You've got the raised edge trim here, which stops water from going off any sides, so that will be used along here and along here to stop water from rolling that way. And it shouldn't go that way anyway because of the slope, but you have to put a raised edge there. And then we've got this angle, internal angle or corners or whatever, and this basically is what we use to go up walls here. And then there will be a flashing that will be embedded in here, which will overlap on top of it after, once it's all done. So I'll be using this on that wall here, on that little back piece of wall here, and also it's going to go along the where the parapet wall is as well. So for now I'm just going to fit it because it's more important that I get this roof watertight, and then I'll build the wall up behind it, and then we can put the flashing on it. So first job is to get this secured down, and then we'll get the trims in, and once we get all the trims in, then we're good to start fiberglassing. So firstly, I'm going to get this in its correct position, exactly where it needs to be. I can take the measurements from to make sure it's equal distance from each joist. So we've got 3.5 centimeters, and this side we have 3, so it could a little touch this way. Yeah, that's about right. I'll make a little mark here in that corner, and then do the same thing. So I want about 32 mil overhang. Gotcha. 5 centimeters either side. So I mark this here. Straight along that line already. Okay. So you can see the outline here, and I'm going to run a bead of sealant silicone adhesive within that space and then stick it down, and then I'll give it another seal around the outside. So guys, you can see I've made my pencil mark around the outside, so I'm going to put some adhesive all the way around the inside and then glue it back down, seal around the outside, put some screws in it. Now that's in, I'm just going to put a bead of sealant around the outside.
I'm just going to put some screws down in it as well. Okay, that's solid. So the next job will to be install these internal trims. So I'm just going to lay them in position, and I'll cut them all to size, make sure everything fits nicely, and then we'll use some clout nails and nail them down to the deck. So this one, we'll start it right up in the corner, jam it up to the corner like that, and I'm going to overlap them all by about 10 centimeters or 100 millimeters. So this one will overlap here about that, be enough. So I need to cut just a little piece at the end there, and should have enough. We've got one long piece starting down here. And leftovers hopefully will be enough, might just be enough to do over there. So I've got some clout nails. I'm going to use these to nail the trims. Before I can cut this trim, I'm going to there's going to be 18mm fascia boards running under here, and they'll be tucked underneath the trim. So if you imagine, this part of this trim sits on here, gets nailed down here, and this part sits on the outside and slightly overhangs the fascia board. So if you imagine, we've got a bit of 18mm OSB here, some offcuts. If you imagine this is the fascia board, it's going to sit like this on the fascia board. Okay, if you look at it this way, it will sit like this. So I'll use some bits of this just to gauge it where it's going to be, because we don't have our fascia boards yet, because these are massive fascia boards. Don't ask, this is the design. So just for now, I'll use that to give me a gauge of where it's going to be, and then later on we can tuck the fascia boards underneath and fix them in place to the rafters below. $150. You can cut this with a saw, you can cut it with an angle grinder, whatever. It's quite easy to cut. So I made a little mistake here. I should have cut this bit there at an angle, um, but I can sort out with some fiberglass. That's what happens when you're working and trying to film and concentrate at the same time. All these corners have to be wrapped with bandage anyway, so I'll build this up with some fiberglass bandage. So I'm just going to nail this along the line where the parapet wall is going to be, and then I'll build the blocks up, and then I'll have a flashing that will come down on top of that. Okay guys, so we have got all our trims in, starting from the front fascia, going all the way up the side of the house here, side where the parapet wall will be. Uh, then we've obviously got these up stands or raised edges. I cut another little piece and overlap that there, so I'll do some bandage and I'll just patch up that little hole there and round here. So I'm going to let this adhesive here dry just a little bit more. It's almost completely off, but I'll let it go dry for a little bit, have some lunch, and then I'm going to come back and fiberglass this deck. So guys, I'm ready. Right, so guys, I'm ready to go. I'm going to do, as I said, some bandaging first, which is where I will lay some of this fiberglass between the deck board and the edge of the trim to seal that, and then I'll go over the whole thing again with some large pieces of fiberglass mesh, starting from the front, and I'll overlap and I'll work my way up to the back. I'll have to put the ladder down there when I get to the end and I can get down basically. So good idea, especially if you haven't done this before, is to cut as many pieces in advance as you can. So cut all these trims, lay them in position, so once you mix you're ready to go. You haven't got to start stopping and cutting, because the catalyst, once you add the catalyst to the resin, you have a certain amount of time to work with it. It does go off quite quick, so you don't want to get to the point where it's going off on you and you haven't had a chance. Believe me, it does go off quick. So I'm going to mix some of this. I'm going to cut a few pieces first, actually, the smaller pieces. This long run, I'll probably just roll it out as I'm doing it. And I'll cut a few of these other pieces, pieces for around the window, and I'll do those first. Yeah, so I'll put a video link in the description as well, where you can see how to mix the ratios and all this stuff, which I've done in another video. So I'll put that in the link in the description, so I don't have to go through all of that today. Yeah, so let's get on with it. Also cut a little piece that I can use to repair this corner here. Put some in all these little joints, little vertical ones, to close up the joints as well. I'll leave this little piece to go here. The joint here, and the joint for up there. Another place to really pay attention is around things like windows, because if the roof is going to fail, it's most likely to fail here. Lots of issues having to be rectified around windows. So I like to make sure I go the extra mile with this. Go around with the trims here, bond it, and obviously there's a trim that goes around it anyway on top. And when I do my fiberglass, I'll also come up slightly with the fiberglass, the layer that goes on top, so it gets kind of glassed twice around the edges, as in a double thickness, which is always a good thing. Just had enough. Perfect. Also, make sure you use gloves for this stuff, because it's nasty. Don't want it all over your hands. What I always do is just apply some underneath first. and then apply some on top. Don't be afraid to give a decent amount so that it can really saturate it. Give it a good soak. And then just leave it for about a minute. Just move on to the next bit. And let that just soak a bit, and it will get soft and a lot more pliable into shape. And you can just use a brush. I'll come over that with a brush. Make sure we get this corner closed up nicely. Yeah, and just really soak it, and then once it gets wet, gets soft, and you can really shape it how you want it quite easily. So I've laid out the fiberglass now, as you can see. You overlap the edge here, come up the side slightly as well, and obviously I started from the bottom and I'm working my way up to the to the highest point. So each one overlaps the other one. So obviously the water is going to be flowing this way, so it's best to do it that way. Um, and then I'm overlapping them by about 10 centimeters here. And as you can see, all the overlaps there, around that side, here, here, a little piece here, but that'll be fine. It's easier to run it that way and have less joins, so overlap, and I'll blend that bit in there. So that's it now, all laid out. So what I do now is I will roll each piece up to the side and apply the resin to the board like I did with the edging, then lay it out and then run the resin on top of it, consolidate it, and moving on to the next one. So that's the plan. So time to mix up and get on with it. So what you're looking for is it to go completely see-through. And once it's consolidated like this, you won't have any pinholes and you're good to go. So this first one is done. So now we're going to move on. It's going to get a little bit trickier here because of the window, so I have to work on half at a time. That's about right here. That's it. So got the roof done. Sorry I didn't get the last bit in. Obviously I was running out of space, so I had to move the camera so that I could get this last area done. So as you can see, I've done from here all the way down, and the end there's that little corner that I made. So obviously I've got to just sand these edges down before I paint them, make them all nice and smooth. You can see the siding all the way down as well. Same thing on that side. And then, as I said, we're gonna put a flash in that will overlap the wall, go into the wall and then overlap that. Also all around the window is done as well. I'll show you the other side.
So this is from the other end, showing you what it looks like. It's come out really good. So the roof is waterproof at the moment. Just need its top coat color to be painted, and obviously the flashing needs to be done. We need to put the fascia boards on, and also we need to complete the parapet wall, just to bring that up a few courses and cap it off and so on, and that will be the roof done. So hope you guys enjoyed this video today, and hope you've learned something as well, that might help you on tackling a project like this of your own. And let me know what you think, and give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. So thanks for watching, guys, and we see you soon. Take care.